Yo guys, this is Mo Vernie on the move. Thank you for watching and continuing to support my Mo Vernie channel. And remember to subscribe if you like what you see. Please comment. Love to hear your feedback. In front of me is the brand new 2025 Mazda CX-70 all-wheel drive with an electric motor. That's why you see the all-wheel drive on the CX-70 badge and also the Yi Sky Active G. This is a signature trim, which is the top of the line for the CX-70. Now, in case you're wondering, why does this look very similar to the Mazda CX-90 that was launched last year? You are pretty much correct. If you're into the automotive, you'll notice that this was quite a surprise when Mazda unveiled the news of the CX-70 early this January 2024. We were expecting something slightly different, but to our surprise, basically the front, the side, the back, the entire dimension of this vehicle, CX-70, is the same as the CX-90, pretty much. In terms of the engine specs, in terms of the looks, the trim level, everything, this is very similar to CX-90. Now, Mazda Canada has basically saying, you know what? The CX-90 has 3 rows of seats, which is about 7 seat passengers, and CX-70 is 5. So basically what they're saying is, we want to use the same shape of the car, the same dimension, the same look, but we're going to offer one that has 5 passengers, which is the CX-70 in front of me, or the 7 passengers, which is the CX-90. To be honest with you, I don't know a lot of families that has 7 that can utilize the 7 passengers max, maybe like in a very rare occasion or during the road trip. So I think that Mazda is kind of smart in terms of the marketing strategy, because basically you're launching the same shape of this SUV that has been already on the market with the CX-90 a year ago. Now you're going to launch a 5-passenger with the same look and said this is a 2025 version. So pretty much it make it look like this is a very super new thing, which is very new, but I mean, you're using the same model style and launch it on a different note. Now, it does capture different demographics. There are people like myself who doesn't need 7 seats all the time, but I don't mind the space. I don't mind the trunk space. And I can tell you, if you have this CX-70, the trunk space extremely roomy because you took out that last front row, and pretty much you have all the space in the world, and you appreciate that, right? So now this is the visor. I do feel this visor is a little bit kind of on the cheap side. It can easily break, but then that applies to a lot of industry where for some reason they give you this visor that is very easy breakable after a few years. Anyhow, this is a very roomy space, really good trunk space if you just need 2 rows of seats. I do have to say, I took this on a road trip for mini drive just yesterday. Happy Father's Day. Brought my parents to Peterborough because there's a brand new Buddha temple gardens called Wutai Shan, and this is a very joyful ride. I have to tell you, I'm not a fan of red vehicles of any sort, doesn't matter what brand, but Mazda is the only brand that I'm proud and nice to drive with a red, because they really mastered this so red metallic paint throughout the years. They have mastered this red for a very long time. And this red, let me tell you, is very luxurious, it's sporty, it's aggressive, it's futuristic. It's just shine, especially under the lights. And look at this, it is so nice. I have to tell you, if you are looking for a full-size SUV and you're looking at a SUV that is sporty, luxurious, fun to drive, this Mazda CX-70 is definitely one that you should consider. If I really have to drive an SUV, this CX-70 is my jam. It's total package. You got the looks, you got the engine, you got the performance, you got the luxurious. It's just the lifestyle. I have to tell you, this vehicle is bulky when I park in my condo parking, but the turning radius is so good. I have no problem driving this. And when you're on a twisty road, this hugs the road so well that you don't even know that this SUV is a big SUV. You feel like you're driving a very nice car. And I will say this might be, you might think it's a stretch, but when I'm driving this CX-70, it feels like I'm actually driving an MX-5 convertible, the Mazda. And this is how good the handling, how on earth Mazda able to master this. And Mazda has really been going up scales for the past few years, and people early on were wondering, Would people pay for it? Would people pay for the premium? And I can tell you, assure you, I'm seeing more and more a CX-9, more and more CX-7, CX-90, all the CX-5. I would say Mazda has really been successful doing upping the scale, because you get the value. You pay what you pay for, the precision, the fit and finish, and the quality. And let me show you the interior of this on the back. This one has a panoramic roof, and then there's a sunroof in the front. Now the only complaint I have is I wish the sunroof is bigger, because of all the panoramic here, and maybe it's the safety or just the support or the pillar that you can't have a bigger sunroof. But I mean, this is just how much I have for the sunroof. It's just, I wish it can go more, right? And here, the middle, there's still a little, like, kind of like a bump for the suspension, but it is overall very roomy, very spacious. I like the color of this. And you have ventilation control at the back, and you can see all these different components here. You have this, the pseudo kind of like a elegant panel in this color. Then you have the sway-like panel, and then the brown here, and then the black, and then the chrome bar. Like, you have a mix of good stuff here. And I gotta tell you, tires are bigger and bigger. This one's 21-inch rims. Now it looks good because this vehicle is nice and bulky and stylish, right? Now the only thing I do have to say, I'm not really a fan of the back. I feel like the Mazda engine design team just kind of took a little bit hiatus, because I'm not really a fan of this little swoop kind of rhinish on the back, and I feel a bit lazy. And I also feel like the rear lights kind of resemblance of the BMW X series, like the X3, X1, and also somewhat like the Mitsubishi Outlander back. Other than that, again, you know, pretty much a lot of SUVs kind of like look the same in some way anyways. But I do like the front. It's very aggressive. I love the black big logo, and the black grille. It's just so shiny. It's just so nice. Now, talking of the specs, this is a brand new engine coupled with a brand new automatic transmission. This is a 3.3 liter inline 6 turbo, pumping up 280 horsepower and 332 pounds-feet of torque. Now, I know Mazda always like to say this is based on regular 87 octane gas. If you put 91, the specs is more. They're also smart in terms of marketing strategy, and they do have a point. When you have a 91 octane, when you have an 87 octane, is a different kind of beast, right? But this is a very powerful. Now, despite CX-9 often have the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder turbo with 255 horsepower and 310 pounds-feet of torque. Back then, I really enjoyed that engine. It's actually quick and fast, but you still can't beat anything with a 6-cylinder. So Mazda is really up its performance game. This is amazing. It's welcome 3.3 inline 6. Of course, they also come with the electric motor. When you're in a constant low speed, you will get that electric motor to help the fuel efficiency. And also, in the past, some journalists complained that they were using an aging 6-speed automatic when you have that much power. So Mazda has corrected it with a brand new 8-speed automatic, and it shows when I'm driving. The gear changes perfect on point, and this is a very quick SUV. I do have to say, Mazda is on a league of its own. They like to design their own thing. They don't like to collaborate with other things. They do their own way. A lot of other companies already doing CVT, and they're like, no, hell no. We'll stick with the 8-speed automatic, and it is a fun to drive. I can tell you this. This is definitely now in the territory of the basic luxury entry. Like, it is competing with the BMWs, you know, the Lexus, and I can tell you, it holds its own. If you if you all care about brands, then that's another story. But you're paying for the brand value or the whatever the brand of the Lexus or the BMW, but they might not give you that standard equipment. But for this, you got the looks, you got the size, you got everything. I mean, I have never seen a lot of industry that does this kind of sway-like interior, and it's so good. I have to touch it, and let me close up for it. Touch it, and it's just so good. I admire all the time. You have Bose system, and it has this beige looking steering wheel on black. It's just so good. And they have sport mode and everything, phone charging, all kinds of. It's nice and clean, dude. The only thing I would have preferred is the center console to be deeper like other SUV, and this one doesn't. But otherwise, like, this is a very complete vehicle, and I urge you to give this a try and check it out, because this is definitely a vehicle that I really like.